So for my final presentation, I've made a lesson plan on sound, where students will be learning different types of sounds, where they come from, and how they're made. I've made a unit plan right here, and it'll be about the sounds and their origins. I've listed goals where the students will be able to identify different types of sounds and recognize the origins of the sounds through memorization. Some essential questions that the students will need to answer will be: what is sound? What causes sound? What sounds do you hear every day? What sounds come from instruments? And what sounds come from animals? A unit summary of this will be that students will learn about sound, how it's made, and origins of the sound. Students will also identify the different types of sounds they recognize from various things. This lesson plan is basically for kindergarten through second grade. And some of the objectives will be that to understand the importance. Oh my gosh, I need to delete that because. Okay, so for my final presentation, I've made a lesson plan on sound. Students will be learning different types of sounds, where they come from, and how they're made. I've made this unit plan. It'll be about sounds and their origins. I've listed goals for the students. They will be able to identify different types of sounds and recognize the origins of the sounds through memorization. Some essential questions that the students will need to answer are: what is sound? What causes sound? What sounds do you hear every day? What sounds come from instruments? And what sounds come from animals? Unit summary is that students will learn about sound, how it's made, and origins of sounds. Students will also identify the different types of sounds they recognize from various things. This lesson plan is basically for kindergarten through second grade, and this is a physical science project. I've listed in procedures my Weebly link for this presentation right there. This lesson will take about 55 to 60 minutes approximately. Prerequisite skills for the students they will need to know basic computer knowledge. They'll need the ability to recognize sound, and they'll need to have prior knowledge to sound, meaning like the sounds of what animals make, instruments make, etc. Materials required for this lesson would be computers, internet connection, printer, a projection system, and that'll all be provided by the teacher. Other technology will be that the students will need to access a internet web browser and be able to use multimedia functions. Supplies that the students will need: the students will each be given a computer. They'll have access to a printer. Musical instruments will be provided, paper and pencils, and usage of the projector and a smartboard. In the internet resources, I've listed the two technology activities, one from brainpopjunior.com, and that is a link to a sound activity with two quizzes. And I've also listed Poplet.com, which is a graphic organizer that the students will later use. Resources for students. If the student needs extra time, they'll be given additional time and help. And also will be able to modify their work, so they'll be able to complete their work on time with the rest of the students and feel just as successful. For gifted students, you'd have them do some harder work that requires more critical thinking and perhaps some extra projects, which would be of the two quizzes that is provided by BrainPop Junior. There's an easy quiz and then there's a hard quiz. You want to particularly give the harder quiz to the gifted students. You want to basically start all the students with the easy quiz, but then give the harder quiz to the gifted students. Okay, for the next page, I have my lesson plan, and it's basically the exact same as the unit plan, but just in more detail. Content standards will demonstrate how sound is made in a variety of ways and what things make those sounds. For this procedure, students will make different sounds with musical instruments and listen to recordings of animals making sounds. There will be an explanation of how the instruments make their sounds and how the sounds of animals are their way of using their voices to communicate with each other. Students will have the opportunity to play with the instruments and make the sounds themselves so they can see actually how it works. Students will use BrainPop Junior to watch a video on sound, which is the first technology activity I have. And after watching the video, students will have the opportunity to take a quiz on the video, easy or hard, which I mentioned before. All students will start off with the easy quiz, and those who excel or finish the quiz quickly with correct answers will get the chance to take the hard quiz. So basically, the gifted students or those students who aren't gifted would take the hard quiz if they excelled in it. From then on, students will be assigned to a computer where they will visit the website poplet.com, which is a web-based graphic organizer created for student usage, and this is the second technology activity. Therefore, students will create their own graphic organizer, starting with and labeling the main topic as different types of sounds. Students will be able to branch off of that and create a figurative web from instrument, animal, and other sound-making categories. And I have an example of it on my last page. This is a screenshot of BrainPop Junior and the video. Once you watch the video, there are 2 links at the bottom for the easy and the hard quizzes that you can take afterwards. And I have the link here. And this is the example of the poplet that the students would create right here. They have different types of sounds. I've made 2 categories with animals and instruments, and I've branched off of that and included 5 different animals, 5 different instruments, the sounds they make, or how the sounds are made. I'm going back to the lesson plan. And once they're done with creating their own poplets, the students will print out their work and turn in their work for a grade. Also, the accommodations, once again, will modify their work so they'll be able to complete their work on time with the rest of the students and feel just as successful. And those who need extended time, they'll receive it and they'll get extra help if need be. And that is the end of my presentation through Screencast-O-Matic. Thank you.